In this session, I will be discussing the warehouse management structural elements, and we will be doing basic customizing of SAP warehouse. So in this session, we will discuss about all the necessary organizational units and master data, and we will be doing basic warehouse management customizing. So these are the session contents in detail. We discuss about the WM organizational units. We will create a new warehouse number by copying from a template. We'll do basic warehouse management customizing. We will discuss storage bins as warehouse management master data. We will create storage bins automatically. We will discuss organizational connection to inventory management. We create the connection of a warehouse management to inventory management, and finally we will display storage bin stocks. We'll see how storage bin stocks are displayed. So we all know the org structure of a warehouse. So the warehouse number is a 3-digit alphanumeric key which is of the highest rank, and below the warehouse number we have something called the storage type, and then we have the storage sections and the picking area below the storage types. So under the storage sections we have storage bins which are master data. We also have something called as the interim storage area. The interim storage area forms a link between the IM and the WM part. So whenever we do a transaction in IM, say for example a goods receipt, the material first goes into the interim storage area, into the designated interim storage area. For example, for a purchase order goods receipt from external vendor, the goods receipt area is 902, and from this goods receipt area 902 we need to process it further by creating a transfer order, and then this material is put away in the respective bins. Similarly, if we are initiating a transaction from the WM part, let's say for example picking for a delivery, then the material would first go in the interim storage area 916, and then finally it will go out of the warehouse. So anything that comes in the warehouse or goes out of the warehouse is via the interim storage area. So these interim storage area are kind of actual, sometimes they are actual physical area. For example, goods receipt area could be a physical area in the warehouse, but sometimes they could be a virtual unit. For example, if you are doing a posting change, the material momentarily goes into interim storage area 922, but interim storage area 922 doesn't physically exist, but it would temporarily go in this interim storage area and come out again, because in reality the material does not change its location. It remains in the same bin for this transaction. So let us create our warehouse in the system. We will create a warehouse by copying from a template. Typically, whenever we create a warehouse, we will be copying from the standard SAP warehouse 001. We create a new warehouse 120 with the description 120. After creation of this warehouse, which will be done by copying a standard template, we will be doing some customizing into the warehouse, which we will see step by step. So let us first create a warehouse by copying from a standard template. So SPRO now. We will be creating the warehouse in this node, enterprise structure. Definition, logistics execution, define, copy, delete, check warehouse number. So here we define our warehouse number by going to this node, And once we have defined the alphanumeric key and we created the description, we will copy in this node from the standard 001 warehouse. So let us see. So we have the standard warehouse 001, which we will copy and name this as warehouse 120. Once I create this warehouse, I can save it here. Let us now go back and copy our template into this new warehouse. We have right now just created the definition of a new warehouse. I come back and I go into copy. Here I choose copy org object and I give the warehouse 001 from which I will copy and the warehouse 120 that I will be creating now. Now once we copy this warehouse, all the tables of this original warehouse 001, all the config settings, all the storage types will be copied into the warehouse 120. And once we have copied it, we will save this here and then we proceed towards customizing of individual storage type as per our needs. You choose yes. So we also note that during a copy of this standard 001 warehouse, all the number ranges also are going to be copied. But we select not, or we choose not to transport the number ranges. So we choose no over here, because if we copy the number ranges, then the number ranges would be included in the transport and they will be moved ahead in the next box that you move your settings to. So once that happens, the disadvantage is that if you are doing testing in the current box and you have created certain documents, then the last number, document number, would also move into the next box along with the number ranges. So it is advisable that you do not transport the number ranges and create them manually in each box when your transport moves there. So I choose no. You can see the tables are getting copied. Choose yes. So this message means that this number already exists, which is okay, and you don't want to transport the number ranges. So you get this final message, warehouse number 001 copied to 120. So with this, you have your own warehouse ready in the system and we can proceed to customize it. But this is just the definition of the warehouse. We haven't so far linked it to any plant. We will see that later part, in a later part. You go back. We are done with creation of the warehouse by copying it from a standard template. Let us proceed further in our customizing. So what we're going to do in this exercise is that we're going to create storage types. We see how we create storage type and we see how we create storage sections. So we are going to create storage type 015. We copy it from 001. Then we are going to divide this area of the new storage type into storage sections for fast and slow moving. We use the number 001 and 002 for these storage sections. And we are also going to see how we can create a interim storage type. We're going to create a new goods receipt area with the key 802. We will be copying 902 and creating the 802 storage type. And we have to create a general 001 section also within the storage type 802. So let us see this in the system. So we are back to SPRO. We go to logistics execution, warehouse management, master data. It is here that we define most of the org elements. We have the number ranges, we have the storage types, storage sections, picking areas, and so on. So the first and foremost, for any warehouse to function, you have to define the control parameters for the warehouse. Inside the control parameters, we have different controls like the weight unit. We define the volume unit if you are going to follow one. The first default unit of measure if it is not specified in the material master. Here we have in control data management, if you are going to use storage unit in any of the storage types of the warehouse, you have to activate it first at the warehouse level and then individually at the storage type level. This is only for storage unit management active. Next, we have a blocking logic. We have partial picking activated, or if you don't want to activate. These are the controls over here. Blocking logic pertains to how you are going to deal with the material that you are stocking in your warehouse. So for example, if you would want multiple users to access the material at the same time, or you want exclusively one transfer order to be accessing that material at a given point in time. So these are the options that you have right now. So ideally you would choose a B, so block material share for maximum level of parallel processors. This ensures that several users can access the material in a bin if you select B. If you don't select anything, material is exclusively blocked per warehouse number during the transport order generation. Next, we need to define the number ranges, but we'll define it a bit later. Right now, let us define the storage types. So we will create a copy of storage type 001, 001. And we can specify it for our warehouse and create a storage type 1015. At this time, we have just created a copy and we don't change any other setting because these settings are typically for the high rack storage. So I save this. Then I come out. Now I need to define storage section 001 and 002 as fast moving and slow moving. So I have my storage type already defined, but it doesn't appear here because we haven't yet created a storage section for the storage type. So what we can do is we can either copy any of the storage sections. We will copy this because it already has the definition. I will copy this and I want to create this for 015 storage section 001 fast moving items. I hit enter and again I copy for create for 015 storage type 002 as slow moving items. So here we only copy or we can create a fresh entry. So now we can see we have two new storage sections created for fast moving items and slow moving items, and these are in the storage type 015. So we have subdivided the storage type 015 into 001 storage section and 002 sub storage section. I save this and come out. Next, we need to create a interim goods receipt area 802. So that is nothing but a storage type. So I will create a copy of the interim storage area 902, which is there in 120, and name it as 802. So with this, we have completed one part of the customizing. Let us quickly see how we define the number ranges for the various documents that would be generated in the warehouse. We do the number range assignment at this place, and then we define the number range interval in the order in which these documents are defined here. So let us start with the assignment of the number range for the particular warehouse. So here we have a warehouse already created as a template, and then we have our own warehouse. So we use a number range zero one for all the documents. This is the number range for quant, the number range for transfer order, the number range for transfer request, the number range for posting. This is the number range for reference documents. At this time we will leave it blank, and if you are using storage unit management in your warehouse, then you can specify the number range over here. Also, if you are using a storage unit management, you need to specify if the number range for storage unit is external or internal, and you can specify it over here. At this time we will keep it blank. So these are the options for storage unit management active. So I will save this number range. We define the number ranges for individual documents. So we are creating a number range for transfer requirements. We create a new number range. The number is 01, which we have already assigned to our warehouse. We can have a 10-digit number range specified. So I will use the number range So this is our number range for transfer requirements in the warehouse 120. I save this. This number range does not get saved into your transport. So every time in every client you have to create these number ranges. Similarly, I go and create the number range for transfer order. Now we can use a different number range starting from a different digit. So this means that if you have a transfer order document and a transfer request document together to see, you can make out with the number range itself, the starting number itself, whether it is a transfer order or it is a transfer requirement. So it is good that if you are able to specify a different number range, or if you choose to, you can use the same number range. I will use a different number range starting from 3 So this is my number range for transfer orders. Again, this doesn't get saved into the transport that you have already created, so this number range stays in this client itself. Similarly, you can create the number ranges for all these documents, and you can see that your number range has already been assigned over here. So once these number ranges are ready, the documents can be printed or created. Let us further check what customizing we have. So we are done with this customizing. We have created a new storage type. We have created two storage sections. We have created an interim storage area, which is a storage type. We have copied it from 902. We have also seen how to create number ranges for each individual document. Next, we will discuss about storage bins. So in a warehouse management, storage bins are the master data created either from the application menu or in customizing. Storage bins are always created within a storage section. So we have seen that in a hierarchy, they come under the storage section. So each storage section has certain number of bins. Every storage bin is uniquely identified by coordinates in the storage type. Up to 10 characters are available for constructing the storage bin coordinate. So we can create a storage bin coordinate with an alphanumeric characters up to 10 digits or up to 10 characters. Storage bin can also be assigned to a storage bin type, which are used to roughly specify the dimension of the bin, like a high bin or a low bin or a double deep bin, etc. So storage bin type is an additional identification, a functionality that could be used to specify what exactly is the bin type. So if it is a high bin or if it is a low bin or it is double deep bin, so you can create these storage bin types such that we can use this functionality to direct a specific kind of material into a specific storage bin type. You can also make optional entries for the maximum weight in a storage bin that it can hold and its total capacity. These entries are only taken into account by the system if the capacity check has been activated at a storage type level. So as I was discussing about storage bin type, this is some additional info. The system can use the storage bin types in the storage unit type check to determine whether the load carrier intended for the current put away activity are suitable for the storage bin that was determined by the system based on the customizing settings or information that was entered manually by the user. What this means that if you want to use a storage bin type functionality, you can specify a storage unit type, and then this storage unit type has to be assigned to a storage bin type so that you can use the complete functionality. So whenever a material comes into a warehouse, it has certain storage unit type, that is a palletization information stored in the master data. So based on this palletization information, the system is going to check into the system, into your customizing, whether this particular storage unit type matches and could be stored in a particular bin type. And that's how you can use this additional functionality of a storage bin type. So in a customizing, storage bin types or group of storage bins are assigned to groups of permitted load carrier, that is storage unit type. So for example, if your material is being stored on pallets and you store, for example, you store say 5 pieces on a single pallet, and these 5 pieces on a single pallet are to be stored in a bin which is of 1 meter height. So what you can do is you can create a storage unit type, say for example P1. You can specify the palletization data in material master stating that P1 is equal to 5 pieces. So whenever you do a goods receipt of 5 pieces, it would be converted into 1 pallet. So if it is 10 pieces, it would be 2 pallet. Likewise, and once it picks up the storage unit type P1, it would go and check into the customizing whether this P1 is assigned to the bin say B1, which is of 1 meter height, and then this P1 will always go into the bin, storage bin type B1. So let us see in a warehouse what exactly is the bin structure. So this is typically called a shelf in a warehouse. We can see multiple shelves, and we will see what exactly this means in terms of terminology. So this is a shelf, say you can call it shelf 1. This is another shelf, say you can call it shelf 2. This is an aisle. These empty spaces are called aisle, and you typically move in and out in the warehouse within these aisles and pick the material from the bins. So this is one shelf. This is called a level. So this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3. In these levels we have what we call as stacks. So this is stack 1, this is stack 2, this is stack 3, and so on. So this entire bin structure could be specified in terms of coordinate structure, which means that if we want to specify this bin, we will call it, say, shelf 1, level 1 with a stack number 1. If you want to specify this bin, is shelf 1, level 2 and stack 1. So this is entire thing is the stack 1. This is stack 2, this is stack 3. So you use this logic to specify the coordinates of your bins. So let us see how this is represented. So we have seen in a shelf we have these levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and we have these stacks, what we call as stacks. So stack 1, stack 2, stack 3, stack 4, and we can have these coordinates. So this is 0, 1, which is the shelf 1, 0, 1 is the level 1, and this is the stack 1, and 0 to the last digit is the level 1. So the 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, the second level, the shelf, the stack, and this is the level. So likewise you can make out how we have given or specified the coordinates of the bin structure. So whenever you are designing a warehouse, either you would need to specify this kind of a coordinate structure. It could be anything that the business would want, or if the bins are already existing, you would create the new bins with the same nomenclature that is already existing. So for that you can use something called as LSMW, and you create the bins using the transaction LS01. So this is a bigger view of the same warehouse. So we have multiple shelves, we have multiple levels to see, and we have multiple stacks. So this, if you look at the entire warehouse, how the coordinate structure works. So this is the kind of bin structure you would have in a bigger picture of the bin structure. You have the shelf 1, you have shelf 2, shelf 3, and you have the stacks. So this is from the top, and then you have the levels which you don't see at the moment. So what we are going to do now is, like, we will see how to create bins automatically from a template. So let us try to create bins in storage type 015 in storage section 001, and we will create the bins with different coordinates so that we understand how exactly we are creating the bins. If you want to specify a different bin type, you can do that in the creation of the template itself. So let us see in SPRO how we create bins automatically. We are in logistic execution, warehouse management, master data, and storage bins. We define the storage bin structure here. So what we see here is that we already have a warehouse 001 with some templates for storage types 001, 001, 004. So when we copied our warehouse from 001, we got the similar structure templates for our warehouse 120. So what we are going to do in our warehouse 120, that we are going to create a template such that we are able to create the bins as specified, as requirement. So what I do is I go into the details. So we want our bins to start with A-01-01 and it should end with B-05-05. So we will try to create a template which will create bins with these coordinates in storage section 001 first. So I will change the existing template slightly to match our requirements, but I'll just explain what this template means. The C means it is a character, and the N means it is a numeric number. And when we say the structure, this means the AA, the BB typically would represent the values that are going to get incremented. So if we go by what we see on the screen, we have the start value as 01-01-01 and the end value is 01, 10, 10. This means that we are giving an increment of 01 to this last coordinate and again 01 to this last coordinate, whereas the first coordinate remains the same. So this will help us generate 10 into 10, that is 100 bins. You can always make this template and check if it is working by going to create bins, and we can just see if it is creating the bins that we want and come back. So you can see it is saying storage bin created, but you can see the storage bins, number of storage bins that are being created, it is 100. So if this is what you require, then you can keep it or you can make slight changes. So you can see the coordinates of the storage bin if they match your requirement. If no, you need to make some changes. So we will, at this time, we will change the template and try to create the bins as we require. Also, we note that the structure AA and BB should be exactly below the place where you want the increment to happen. So before I start to create a new template, I will copy this for the storage type that we need the bins into. I will copy this and I will change the storage type to 015. Storage sequence number is assigned by the system itself, and here I will start changing the template. It doesn't matter if you keep these spaces empty, but what is important that you should define the template to fill all these 10 characters. It doesn't matter if this is empty, this blank space will be taken as a character, but this template should be of 10 characters specified. So I have the structure defined, I have the start value defined, and I will define the end value. So I need 50 bins. Okay, let us go by the example that we have specified. I give the end value as 05 and this is 05. I need an increment. I remove the storage bin type at the moment and I keep the storage section as 001. So let us see by simulating the bin creation. So we have created 50 bins. We can see that for storage, the first bin is A0101 and it goes on increasing, and then A0201, 0202, and likewise it will end at AB0505. So it is creating a 50 bins. So here we can choose to create the bins online, or you want to create a batch input session. I would typically create the bins online. So let us create the storage bins online. Do you want to create the bins? You choose yes and the bins will be created. So you have 50 storage bins created. Similarly, you can proceed with creation of the bins in a different storage type or your own template. Or if you want to keep the existing bins in your warehouse same, then you can choose the transaction LS01, which would allow you to create a bin of your own choice. Let us now go back and check what else customizing we need to do. So we have checked how to create storage bins automatically. Now what we need to do is link the inventory management to warehouse management. So before you can use a newly set up warehouse management system, it has to be connected to the existing inventory management component. To use a warehouse number, you always have to connect it to at least one combination of plant and storage location. This forms the connection with inventory management that is needed to map goods receipt, goods issue, and posting change activities. So these are some frequently asked questions regarding how we typically assign and how many plants can be assigned to a warehouse, or how many warehouses could be linked to one plant. So can we have two warehouse management systems in a given plant? Yes, you can have them. You can have them for two different storage locations. So one plant with one storage location can link to one warehouse. So a combination of a plant and storage location should be unique to be linked to a warehouse. So can we have a warehouse cutting across two plants? Yes, we can have a warehouse cutting across two plants. So one warehouse can be used to stock material from two different plants. Does a warehouse have accounting implication? No, it is purely stock handling. And does all the storage types necessarily be located in one building? No, they can be scattered in the plant premises but still can be logically assigned to the same warehouse. So this will save us some extra document that would be created if you have two different warehouses for uh, two storing facilities which are across the road. So you can very well create one warehouse and assign two different storage types and use them. So let us go further and see how we typically assign a plant and a storage location combination to a warehouse. So we are going to assign our warehouse 120 to plant 1000. So we go to SPRO. We are in enterprise structure. We have just finished the definition. Now we go to assignments, logistics execution, and we are here assigned warehouse number to plant storage location combination. Okay, so we have a plant 0001, not 1000. So what we are going to do is we create a new entry, plant 0001, storage location 001 and warehouse 120. So with this we have actually linked the plant storage location to this warehouse 120. We save this. So once we save this, we are done with actually the linking of warehouse to plant 0001. So the inventory management is linked now to the warehouse management. So any goods document that is posted in 0001 would now have a implication in the warehouse. So after we are done with this assignment, we are left with one small topic, that is displaying storage bin stocks. Now, as we have a transaction MMBE in materials management or an inventory management, we have similar transaction called LS26, with which we display the storage bin stocks. So I will just show you stocks of a different warehouse. The transaction LS26 can be accessed here. Logistics execution, internal warehouse process, bins and stocks, and here we have total stock of material in the warehouse. We will see the stock of a material that I have already created in a plant GB11 and warehouse 001. So this is how we typically see the stock. This material is right now available in storage location 2000, and if I double click, I am going to see the bin stock. You can see the storage type, the storage bin, and the total stock that is available. Similarly, the same thing can be seen from MMBE as well. So I can show you how to see the warehouse stock from MMBE. So in MMBE, if your storage location is warehouse managed, this is the stock at the storage location at an IM level. You can go to environments and see the WM stocks. So you can see the available stock, the stock per put away, and the pick quantity. And if you double click, you can see the bin stock. So we have seen how to display the stocks in the storage bin. We have seen how to customize the basic warehouse, how to customize the basic org structure elements, how to link inventory management to warehouse management,